Okay, this is part two of an emergency chit chat. Our second attempt. As I said, I grew up in the projects, and most of the kids that grew up in the projects in my day came from single parent households, and most of the time the parent was the mom that was single. So a lot of the boys couldn't stay the hell out of trouble, which is why I said, you know who your friends are, man, and it's I guess their inability to get attention is what pretty much fucked them up. And I'm not really mad at them. I mean, my dad lived 3 hours away in Smithfield. I only got to see my dad every summer except for like 2 summers. The summer that I was 16 and the summer when I was 7. Because I was doing martial arts and everything, but couldn't go down my dad's for the summer. That was the year I got bit by the horse and got my finger chewed for a split second. Well, anyway, after that shit, freaking they did dumb things, man. I mean, they literally could not help themselves but do dumb, dumb shit. And it's like, my mom beat my ass. No, if my mom didn't beat my ass, one of the neighbors beat my ass. I seem to be the only person on the block that got ass whippers, which is why I never got in fucking trouble. You know, and this is why I say you got to know who your friends are. You ain't gotta know them like intimately, but you gotta know who they are, at least merit wise, heart and soul. You know, you gotta know who the hell they are. And a lot of our friends, man, a lot of them don't got moral compasses and don't care about right and wrong, and they just, you don't know how to live. I was like, yeah, I do. I know what consequences are. You just don't. So I don't know if their parents ever beat their ass or they beat them so much that they just got, I'm abused, so I got to get some kind of consequence. But every kid that I knew in the projects, at least out of 10 people that I knew, only my bro C. Nelson and myself were the only two who never got in so much trouble that we had to go to juvie. Everybody else I knew from West Haven, in juvie. All the time in juvie. And I'm like, well, why y'all keep getting in trouble, man? It's like, I don't know. It's like, you do know. You know right from wrong. You just don't think before you do shit. My other friend, D. Hutchison, never got in trouble. C. Nelson never got in trouble. And I never got in trouble. G. Hawkins never got in trouble that I am aware of. But everybody else, I left names off for a reason, y'all, for their protection. Everybody else that I knew, my cousins got in trouble. It was cousins by marriage, but they were still cousins, and they stayed the fucking trouble. I think my cousin, S. Timberlake, stayed in fucking damn trouble. He did more time in juvie than he did at home. And there was a couple of other cats that just couldn't stay the fuck out of juvie. And I'm like, dude, why do y'all keep doing this shit? Later in life, you hear the shit because I've always been picked on, and you hear the shit from them, man, I wish I was more like you. And I'm like, no, you don't. You want to be bullied all the fucking time? You want to get picked on all the fucking time? Where you're not gonna fucking be cool, and people let you know it. Girls don't like you because you're mixed, and people always telling you ain't shit. So you do not want to be me. And I say, in that same breath, I will say I'm actually grateful that I got bullied, that I got picked on, and the girls didn't like me. Because all those guys, although they was getting mad pussy and shit, or at least that's the lie they was telling us, or they maybe have been, I don't know, I wasn't there. But every time I turned around, one of them was doing 3 or 4 months in juvie. You know, that's a long time when you putting in like 60, 80, 90 goddamn days in a place you don't want to be. No. Then they would tell us that the people in juvie was like molesting them and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to blame the victim, but I'm also not going to let you have it because you had the option to think before you did something stupid that got you in juvie. He said, well, the truth be told, I was with somebody else. I don't care. You know your friends. If you know your friends are nothing but trouble, you don't go with them anywhere. And I mean that. You don't go with them anywhere. You don't go to stores with them. You don't even ride in the same car with them. You can meet them somewhere, but don't go with them nowhere. Because if you ain't got no way home but them, you hang it up. Because if they do something, guilt by association ruins you. So hopefully this is going to teach you to teach your children that you need to make sure your children know who their friends are. Your children need to make sure they know not to go hanging with people who automatically are troublemakers. And some people are just born troublemakers. They get taught right from wrong, but they just refuse to follow the moral compass of, oh, well, this is the wrong thing to do, so I'm not going to do it. Some people just don't want to do the right thing. They want to do the bad things. They want to be the popular kid. They want to be well known. They want to be that guy that's, hey, look at me, everybody, look at me. I needed attention too. I didn't need a belt though. No, I learned at a very young age, spankings was a thing. Now I was never abused, but I'm grateful for every ass whooping I got. Everyone. Now, with the childhood fighting thing, people might consider that abuse. I don't consider it abuse. I will consider it a little bit traumatic, but I learned how to fight. Yeah, I learned how to fight since I was 6 years old. It's the only thing I've ever been good at. And at 49, about to turn 50, I'm still fairly decent at it. With a couple of attachments. Yeah, I got a hip replacement. But, like I said, most people, if I have any kind of matching with them at all, they don't come back for another round, which is great. Better for me than for them, but still great. Most people that I fought in the projects knew me by the name of Jonah. As I got older, they stopped calling me Daniela and Daniel San and Bruce Leroy. When they seen me beat people up after that shit, they was like, oh, we better leave this motherfucker alone. He is not fake. His shit is fucking real. And this is why I tell people, I'll just make a whole video about it. But this is why I tell people to know your friends so that you don't get in trouble and know what to do. I will make another video about martial arts in a second before I make the other video that I plan on doing outside, unless the thunderstorm hits, because they are calling for it.